good evening and welcome to Coach DJ Moore's show. Sitting here with Coach. Coach coming off a loss, the first conference loss to Newport, 30-22. It was kind of a Newport controlling the time possession. Talk about how the game went, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, we had, I think we had the ball inside the red zone 6 times, only scored twice. That was a big issue. I thought we had chances to make plays and we didn't. We made a lot of mistakes. They made a lot of mistakes. I thought like I said, defense played well. Held them to about 287 yards of total offense. But then, they're going to get the big play and they got a couple of those and, we didn't make plays when it counted. And we even had a chance right there going in at the end to score and get 2 and tie it. And then we just, made too many mistakes. And, again, I told the kids it was another week of, I was proud of how hard they played, but, we didn't play well enough to win. And that's what we've got to overcome if we're going to make it to the postseason here.
You already talked about them only having 287 yards. They had 115 yards receiving, 172 yards rushing. Coach, y'all had 14 first downs, 372 yards total, 157 yards receiving, 215 yards rushing. Something that we're not normally see is the rushing being higher than the receiving. What was going on there?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't really efficient in the passing game. Our quarterback was 5 of 15. Which is not very good, not where we're going to be successful. So we had to rely a little bit more on the run game, put the ball, in Hartman's hands a few more times, and being a senior and be a little bit more experienced, and kind of rely on the run game, which, it kind of slowed us down, probably took us a little bit out of our normal offensive rhythm, and then when we did throw the ball, like I said, a couple times, we were able to make big plays. And had 2 touchdowns passing, but yeah, just again, you just had a lot of whether it was a couple things up front when they got some pressure, a sophomore quarterback in there making some mistakes, maybe missing a few reads. So just things we got to keep working on.
All right, go over some stats here. Jordan Moore-Payne had 24 rushes for 106 yards. You already said he was 5 of 15 for 157 yards and 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. A bright spot here, Bryson Thacker, 3 rushes for 36 yards and a touchdown and 1 receiving touchdown of 20 yards. Talk about Bryson's night.
Yeah, he had a good night. He caught a pass over the middle on 4th down. The kid went for the ball. He was able to control the ball, rip it away from him, and then scored a touchdown. And then he had a really nice run for a touchdown, and then had another really tough run on a 2-point conversion that we got. A little bit later in the game, played really well on defense. Had 8 or 9 tackles. Did a good job taking on some some key blockers and playing his playing his role really well on defense. What we asked of him this week, so really a complete game out of him.
The senior leaders, Grayson Ely and Eli Hartman. Grayson had 4 catches for 137 yards and a touchdown, 18 rushes for 73 yards for Eli. Talk about the seniors right there stepping up.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we expect out of them. Those guys have had some experience. Grayson's a 3-year starter, so we know what he's capable of. When we get the ball in his hands, we got to get it to him more. If he's got 130 yards on 4 touches, we got to get him some more touches. And kind of the same thing with Eli. He ran the ball really hard. They started kind of stacking the box a little bit when we weren't having success throwing the ball, so he had to break a lot of tackles to get a lot of those yards. And he's a tough kid and ran tough and did what he needed to do to get those yards.
All right, let's go back to 287 yards. The defense was flying everywhere, and it was led by number 34, Kyler Locke. He is our player of the week. Down in 7 here, 35-yard line. Reynolds is going to roll outside. He's going to be flushed and it's going to be incomplete pass. He's harassed there by Kyler Light.
Just continuing to stuff the stat sheet on the season total tackles.
I'm going to throw a little screen pass. It's caught by number 2, Wren. Wren's trying to get outside, and there's a hoist of Bulldogs there to drag him out of bounds to lose yardage. And that, guess who it was? Number 34, Kyler Locke with the tackle.
Once again, his number's called and he answers.
No timeout there. 15 seconds left to go. High snap, ball's on the ground, and I think the Bulldogs have come up with it. We have got it. The Bulldogs have got it.
There's the stop they needed, Jonathan.
You called it. Snap, gives it to Wren. Wren's trying to get outside. He's not going to get outside. There's the ball on the ground.
Who's got it?
Bulldogs have come up with it, Richard. Kyler had 18 tackles, 3 tackles for losses, 2 fumble recoveries. Talk about Kyler Norm-like.
Yeah, I'll try to call him Kyler here officially. But yeah, just team captain. He's been doing this for 3 years now. He led the state in tackling last year. Is probably on pace to do it again. I haven't checked, but he's been in double-digit tackles every single week. He recovered 2 fumbles, 2 big fumbles, that gave us a chance to score on their side of the field. And then the tackles for loss. He has a motor, and it doesn't stop, and it doesn't just stop on Friday night. It's like that at Pee Wee on Saturday if he's out there working the chains, or it's like that in the classroom. Like, he's full go all the time. He's a guy, like I said, he's the heart of our defense, and he sparks it, and he leads by example because he like I said, he never takes a play off, and he doesn't he takes every play personal. So just a guy you like to have on your side for sure.
All right, go back to the defense here with Ethan Thurman had 10 tackles. Bryson Thacker had 8. Dakota Johnson had 5. P.J. Garrett had 4. Eli Hartman had 4. Just talk about that total defense. I think they had like 4 stands right there. Talk about that stands they had right there.
Yeah, no, we had our backs against the walls a lot. They had the ball inside the 5 twice and didn't score either time. One was a missed assignment, but we put a little pressure on the quarterback. He missed a tight end, and they made mistakes, and when they got penalties, we capitalized on it and were able to stop them and get off the field. Really stacked the box heavy, played man coverage to try to stop the run. They've got a lot of dangerous backs, and if they get some space, which we saw happen once. They can make a big play, and I was really proud of our guys just playing assignment football, playing technique and doing what they needed to do to stuff them. And there was a couple of drives where they did drive the field. They were able to get some of those yards and sustain a couple long drives, but those didn't end in touchdowns. They didn't end in points. We were able to get off the field. So again, I'm really proud of how our defense is playing. And even when their backs against the wall, not just kind of checking it in, but toughening up on our side of the field and getting some stops, especially on 4th down.
All right, let's shift gears, go into another non-conference game in between 2 conference games. Talk about the England Lions, an old conference mate.
Yeah, and they're, we had a tough game with them last year. They were really young, played a lot of sophomores. A lot of those kids are juniors this year. Really talented skill guys. They've got a 6'5" receiver. They returned the Carter kid was their best receiver from last year. Different quarterback, not their senior quarterback from last year graduated, but the kids playing this year throw some good balls, and they're 3-1. He's put them in positions to win. They got some size up front, some big dudes, and then their guards. I think both their guards play really well. They get after it on offense, on the defense, and then they've got a running back. Can't forget him. I think he's their best player on both sides of the ball. They're also their middle linebacker, and he makes a lot of plays, and they give him a lot of freedom to make plays, and he does that. So they're much improved from last year, and Coach Anderson kind of knew that with having a lot of young guys, and they've got a lot of experience. They were very successful in junior high, so it'll be another tough one. And getting to play. They're I think top 10 in 2A, and. So we'll draw another top 10 2A team, and we'll see how, we can compete with their size and speed.
All right, Coach, give a junior high report and a Pee Wee report. I know we had a lot of Pee Wees and junior highs this week. Give a report.
Yep, junior high's on a bye week this week. So we're kind of taking advantage. We're a lot of competition, a lot of team this week. Trying to build even more depth and give some of those guys who haven't gotten a lot of reps there. They're sitting at 2-2 right now. They'll go to Yellville next Thursday. And then with Pee Wee, Pee Wee played Saturday, 5th and 6th. I'm trying to think of the final score. I want to say maybe 20-12. They lost their first game. That was their first loss of the year against a really, really good 6th grade Mountain View team. And then 3rd and 4th was able to – they won 18-6. Had 3 different guys score. They threw the ball around really well. It's pretty impressive to see 3rd and 4th graders pitch and catch like that, and they did a really good job. And they're a lot of fun to watch.
All right, Coach. We'll be on at 6:45 on Friday afternoon for Friday Night Football. Thanks and have a good day.